We all fail from time to time, and often we even prefer not to admit it to ourselves, and it's okay because it's our coping mechanism. But when we admit, we prefer to think that it's because we just haven't tried hard enough, right? And there is one unobvious reason why we stop trying, why we prefer to surrender, and then we feel miserable. And today I want to talk about this hidden reason. Hey my friends, if you're new here, I'm Anna, Anastasia, and this channel is about everything that is mindful, minimalist, and creative. How many times you heard people saying, come on, just try it. It's so easy, you're gonna love it. And how many times after you heard it and you tried, it turned out to be one of the biggest challenges of your life. And how did you feel after? Did you want to share that kind of anti-success, or you wanted to throw that experience into the oblivion and go on living like you used to live before? I've been tempted to do so very, very often, and I figured out that I felt like crap, and I wanted to soothe my suffering ego with a good old dose of escapism and self-loathing, because initially I was told how easy it was. And that very contradiction, the gap between the promised heaven and the reality, made the greatest contribution of my labeling myself a failure. And I'll give you a couple of very subjective and simple examples how it happened to me. Meditation. So what I heard and read years ago before I tried meditating for the first time in my life. The only challenge you'll have is just finding time for your daily meditation practice. Just tell your body to relax and watch your thoughts float. First sessions are hard, but then it will be smooth and blissful. The meditation reality for me was completely different. No spiritual coach or yoga teacher or Sam Harris or Joe Dispenza told me that it could be a real torture, both mental and physical. The sensations that I felt while meditating were sometimes pleasing, but oftentimes very far from being a relaxing kind of experience. I often felt like I was run over by a train. I felt suffocated and ready to faint. And when I asked years ago, I asked my Tai Chi instructor why I felt like that. He said that it was because I had a lot of dark and toxic matter in me that needed to be cleared. And that was kind of embarrassing to hear, because no other student reported a similar problem, and thus of the whole crowd of people us attending those Tai Chi classes, I was the only center of darkness and toxicity. So, but anyway, after some time later, I read and heard similar stories from people who had same struggles as me. And then, after fully realizing and accepting my own peculiarities, I continued to meditate, but I used my own way. We all have different mental constitutions, many characteristics of which cannot be explained by experts who we look up to. You are your own person with your own way of doing things, and when this or that way doesn't fit you or is not that easy as you were promised, it doesn't mean that you're a failure. freelancing and building a fortune online. So what they say: just choose a niche you're good at and develop it. Work hard, stay dedicated, and you'll succeed. Freelance and travel the world. In reality, I had to face very high competition, low rates, a lot of burnout situations, nervous breakdowns, and also fear of the future. A huge fear of the future. And I finally set down to earth priorities to earn just enough for a living while staying true to my moral values. Having exaggerated expectations can be painful afterwards, not for all people, but for many of us. And it doesn't mean that for being realistic, you should stop listening to motivational speeches or so on. No, absolutely not. And it doesn't mean that we should stay in our comfort zones. Of course, if we are first lucky to find them. It's just about understanding that this or that path can be hard personally for you. And for me, freelancing was and isn't easy at all due to some things, some personal peculiarities that now I know about, but which other people cannot be aware of. Yes, we all can do better, rise earlier, shine brighter, and breed our positivity. But like all pills have side effects listed in the instruction inside the box, we should have the same disclaimer about our life. Probably, and for sure you don't know this about me, but I used to smoke for 10 years. And I've always heard how hard it is to quit. So by the time when I finally took that decision to quit smoking, I was fully mentally prepared to all the consequences. And I quit just in one day. And it was like a game for me where I just needed to stay alive. And afterwards, I was like, wow, that was much easier than I thought. And it was so much more rewarding and pleasing than starting something new, a new experience, a new challenge that is promised to be super duper easy and then failing it. Finding yourself at the very bottom, very far from the shiny peaks of success. It's just about the overly positive expectations formed that can ruin the whole new beginning. I wish I was told long ago that life is not going to be easy at all, that there will be times when I will feel flawed, useless, and misfortunate, and that's completely okay. It's normal. I wish I was told that I'm not alone in those feelings and in all the failures that I was going to face inevitably, because this is life. I wish I had someone who was on the same page with me, and that's why I'm sharing this video with you today, just to support you if you're feeling down because of your misfortunes, or I don't know, anything that you might feel sad about. We are climbing the same mountain, but we all follow different trails. Thank you so much for watching this video today, my friends. Please feel free to share in the comments whether there were or there are things in your life that you were told were so easy, but then you found them to be the greatest challenges in your life. So let's support each other and encourage each other to move on, because this is the true meaning of life, not to get something, to reach your personal sun, but to continue moving on despite everything. And stay safe and keep your heart open. And I hope to see you soon. Пока-пока.